This is the 2025 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Malt Experiment, Amber Ale. Thanks to our sponsors. 5 Star Chemicals. Check out their new online straight-to-consumer homebrew shop where you can buy everything from Star San and line cleaner to the new liquid PBW that can be used at temperatures as low as 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Check out their online store at 5starchemicals.com/home-brewing. Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store. A local homebrew shop in Danvers, Massachusetts. Order any malt they offer in any quantity you want, and if you order before 11 a.m., they'll package your items and ship out the very same day. Visit the store at www.beer-wine.com. Let's get tasting.
Hey guys, Matt here from Wrecked Brewery. Welcome to 2026. It's now officially 2026. I meant to get this video out beforehand, but I just didn't have the time with the holidays and New Year's Eve. My daughter's birthday is New Year's Eve. We had a little bit of a gathering here. So here we are. This is my latest, one of my latest creations. I believe it's the, trying to think. I made a cream ale. I'm going to be having a review video of that coming up here pretty soon. Grading the Glass series, I think, on that one. I think I have some footage for that. I didn't take any footage of this one. This is the Tipsy Smurf. This is my blueberry sour. Thank you, Dennis, for getting me into sours and how to make sours. This turned out to be a really nice beer. It's actually pretty clear for the most part. It's got a really cool, like, purplish color to it, which I love. The drink's really nice. I think the next time I go to try to make this, though, I'm going to go back to basics with Dennis and I did when we did our collaboration a couple years ago. Dennis from Woodshed Brewing, by the way, a fellow brewtuber, where we used Good Belly to sour the beer and then just fermented it with whatever yeast we wanted to use. This time, and the last couple of times I made this beer, I used the Philly sour yeast. So it's kind of a little bit of a cheat code because it sours the beer and ferments it at the same time. Problem is you can't control the sourness. It's kind of up to the yeast. And this clocked in around 3.55, I believe, pH when I checked it, which is a little bit more on the upper end of the range for sours. I think 3.2 to 3.6 is kind of what you're aiming for, depending on how sour you want it to be. And the first time I made this beer, it was 3.4, and it was really nice, had a nice tartness to it. This is 3.55, so it's more on the upper end. It still has that, a little bit of the tart, but not as much as the original that I made was. But let's go ahead and have some. Cheers. Yeah, still damn good. Got a nice blueberry taste to it. Nice little tartness there. Kind of a little bit of a tingle kind of on the side of the cheeks when you drink it. Just makes you want to go back for another sip. Well, this video is not about that beer, but I ran out of other things to drink here that were sent to me from the experiment. But I did want to put together a nice little sort of review video. I wanted just to give out my gratitude and thanks to everybody that participated in the experiment. This was a lot of fun. Probably the most fun of the experiments that I've had to date. Every one of them has its own neat thing about it, and every one of them has their own little bit of challenges, and you learn a lot from each one of these experiments. Definitely come check us out, brewtubers.com, and you can come join in on fun like this. We try to do one of these once, maybe twice a year, depending on the schedule. At least once a year, and this time we did that malt experiment. So we all brewed that amber ale recipe. I'll put the card up here one more time for you guys to check that out. And everybody added in their own sort of specialty ingredient to it. Most of them were malts. The only person that was a little bit different than that was Kurt, and he did the Cinnamar, which doesn't really add a whole lot to the beer other than color that I've noticed. So that's probably about as close to of a baseline as you can get. We did rank them, and I have them in the order that I ranked them from first down to the end. And this was by no means any sort of judging on any of the brewers. Every single one of these was super clear, was super well executed, was a really nice drinker. Some of them, to me, weren't what I was looking for out of a amber ale, so I ranked them accordingly. It wasn't anything to do with the brewer. It wasn't anything to do with even the malt. It was really just, well, I guess it was about the malt, really. But it really wasn't about the beer itself. It was more just like, okay, I kind of took a page out of Billy's, without realizing. I took a page out of what Billy had done, which is basically ranking them on how much they changed the beer. but with a little bit of a twist in my case. And it's not so much about how much it changed the beer, more so how it changed it away or towards the amber ale style to my liking. So I ranked them based on what I liked. Now, if I were to go back, I might shift a couple of these. Like if I would have had all of them, let's say in the same day, which probably wouldn't have been the best of ideas since I'm the only one that, in this house that would have been reviewing these. I didn't have anybody to share with like Jerry. But if I were to do that, then I probably would have ranked them differently, just because I would have been able to see them all up front and rank them, as we see fit. I think part of the challenge was was figuring out how to rank them as you go. So it's kind of like, oh man, well I already put that person in third. It's real hard to move things around now because you've already put that person up towards the front of the pack. And the same thing goes for when you put somebody towards the end. Now, when you first start off, it's not a big deal because you're only working with 3-4 beers. But when you get down to the bottom, 8, 9, 10, 11 that you're reviewing, it makes it really hard to slot things. I had a real challenge with that personally, but this was a lot of fun to do. Learned a lot about all these different malts. I definitely wouldn't use them all in this kind of a recipe, but I definitely would it's kind of gotten the gears turning on what I would use them in. And to be honest with you, half these malts I've never used before, so I learned a lot there too. So it's cool to see not only what the malt brought to the recipe itself, but also what the malt itself does. And what helped a lot with going through these beers was seeing exactly what's changed. You go in and you try a different malt, you tried a beer prior to that, especially that baseline beer, and you kind of know what's going to happen. It's like, oh, okay, this beer is, this much different from what I just had, this sort of a baseline, for example. You know exactly what that malt's now doing. We've all proven ourselves to be, decent brewers. So every beer you couldn't, the variable wasn't the brewing, it was just the malt. So that made it really cool to see that. Personally, going through these, I think I definitely want to experiment more with a couple of these grains. Like for example, Mildnoy, and I use that a lot. So I know I'm very, very well aware of what that does. I did not realize that you could mix it with some of these other malts to really accentuate different characteristics or flavors out of a beer. For example, Mildnoy and Cara Red seem to go really well together from what I've learned in this experiment. Same thing with, honey. You can mix that with various things. Biscuit you can mix with various things and just really turn something into just extra dimensional, in what the beer is itself. So that's really fun. Some of the other malts, however, were they kind of stood out and just being really different. Like the Griffin malt being really different, being that it's a gluten-free type of a malt. So if that is something you're after, that can definitely play a part. Opal 44 was really drastically different with its toffee notes that brought. So very, very cool. So yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it there. I hope everybody had a wonderful holiday season. I hope everybody had, has a good plan for your future for 2026. I definitely plan to brew more. I've actually just made a run to Carolina Malt House and stocked up on a bunch of new grains. I'm still trying to, just crush through the rest of the hops that I've been storing for the last couple of years before I buy new hops. So I got some plans on what I'm going to make with what I have, and we'll see where the year takes us. I think the next brew that I have planned, at least in my mind in the short term, planning on doing a couple of collab brews with a couple of Brewtubers. So that'll be pretty fun to do. I want to try my hand at a West Coast IPA. Haven't brewed a stout in a while, so I'd like to brew a darker beer as well and have something there to kind of get me through the rest of the winter, or our winter here in South Carolina, which usually comes in and goes out just as quickly as it comes. So, but hey, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to leave it there. Just wanted to say thanks to everybody for the experiment. Thanks to our sponsors, Beer and Wine Hobby and 5 Star Chemicals, for coming along with us for the ride and helping us support this. We definitely couldn't have done it as successfully as we had without you, and look forward to seeing what Brewtubers gets ourselves into for 2026. So hope everybody has a good one. Take care. Cheers.